Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. Using girls on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
This is Enduro Ra, the arcade machine released by SEGA in 1986, and it's a super skater. So is this before or after Outrun? Anyway, I played this game possibly 7, maybe 8 years ago, because I have warm fuzzy memories of playing it in the arcades in an arcade in Westwood Ho, where it was just stand-up cabinets with handlebars, dirt bike handlebars on them that you could pull towards you. There was a full, I don't know, sit down bike, sit down cabinet. That makes sense. Not sit down Outrun drivey type or Afterburner Fly type sit down cabinet. Now, Super Skaters by Sega, they could do no wrong back then, and especially in those days, these kind of pseudo fake and 3D graphics absolutely blew us away. Now, if you look at Outrun, I'll get to the point in a minute. If you look at Outrun, it is aged absolutely fantastically. I guess you could argue so has Space Harrier, maybe more so than Afterburner. But a lot of these people have said, if you revisit them, I say people, a bunch of people have asked me, if you revisit them, are they still as good as you remember? I mean, have they stood the test of time? Which seems somewhat unfair to ask, because they were pieces of, you know, the time period that they were born within. But again, coming back to the fact that Outrun is aged fantastically, have a bunch of other Sega Sprite skaters aged as well? Are they still fun to play? Do they do something a little bit different from the mass amount of Sprite skaters that other companies did, such as Tato, you know, etc, etc? Are they still fun to play? Do they still stand the test of time? Because Outrun obviously does. Well, let's find out. I'm going to jump into, not in this video, but I'm going to revisit a bunch of Sega Sprite skaters and see, yeah, you know, we all speak so highly of them, but have they stood the test of time? Are they Outrun worthy, if you will? I could answer that immediately, but I'm not going to. Anyway, it's a dirt bike racing game where you can jump. Something a little bit different. I guess they were sort of capitalizing on the success of the original Hang On, in the sense that you could pull your handlebars down and get massive air. I'll press start now. Right, so obviously this got ported to everything. I have gameplays of a lot of them. Spectrum's brilliant, Commodore's Pants, Amstrad's Pants is on par with Spectrum, Amiga, Atari ST. There was no Sega home port apart from on the Sega Master System, where it was isometric. I guess it couldn't or didn't want to attempt to do this, even though it did, you know, bang up jobs of Outrun and to some degree Thunderblade. Ouch! Look, the tree is doing a weird TARDIS thing. That's possibly because it's directly in my peripheral vision. But right, so graphically, you know, it's not a flat road, it's got lots of undulations. Whenever you hit a ramp, you just go straight forward. Different gameplay mechanics from Hang On and stuff like that. The graphics are definitely lacking the sparkle of Outrun, the outright impressiveness, I should say. It's a dirt bike, hit anything in the road, and you will go flying. And apparently it's quite hard. Oh, but it's got a map. That wasn't bad, considering I was a bit shit and talking, but we'll try that again. You do have a brake button. I've not hit it. I like the fact that you put your leg down. I haven't yet, apparently. I guess we wait to go around a corner to simulate being a dirt bike. Well, not simulator, arcadey-ish thingy. But jump! I guess the point there is to try and clear all the obstacles and stuff in the road. Dirt track, something. Hit any of your opponents, and it's pinball. So yeah, you know what? It doesn't have the outright mind-blowing graphics of Outrun and stuff like that. I guess this was before then, but you know, I guess it's not as bland as Hang On with the way the road moves. And you definitely have an interesting mechanic in the way that you jump, even though that was a bit pants then. And oh, come on, can I make a checkpoint? There we go. You'd never be able to do this type of racing now, or everyone being so health and safety obsessed. and the road is pink and I can't see anything. Also, when it jumps that high up, as impressive an effect it is, I guess, or trying to blow you away with like how 2D and extreme it is, you can't really see where you're going to land. So there's an element of luck in it. You can wheelie when there isn't a ramp around, which is, I don't know, does it give you points? Kind of pointless, but there is an opinion, and I do have nostalgic, you know, glasses for this, if you will. But there is something that you can tell why it's, you know, it's not up there in the outrun camp. Not just cause it's got weaker graphics, but it's not. It's bloody hard. It's not the all-round package. These games, these sprite skaters, the reason I guess Outrun is remembered so fondly is little things like not just the mind-blowing graphics, but the absolute amazing music. And little elements such as you can select a track from a radio that was kind of, I guess, mind-blowing at the time, and made you think like you were driving a real car, but it was polished. You had amazing, amazing music. I'm not saying the music is pants in this, but it's a bit pants. I have to press start to get off that screen. Yeah, so immediately, it's just not got that whole package of just amazing visuals, fantastic sound. Again, you're racing against, are you racing against the clock? And not necessarily the other people, because it's checkpoints, which is like Outrun, I guess. But yeah, it's overall polish. Again, not just visuals, but lacking that kind of effort has been made in every department where they just, it sounds a bit harsh. Like I said, I haven't played this in years, and I have consistently come back to Outrun. I will openly admit, and I might revisit in this, in these videos, that Thunderblade, well, I think it's amazing, incredibly impressive, is purely and simply pretty much proof of concept and a tech demo. I wouldn't say this is that far, because, you know, like I said, well, it has that, you know, well, jump, a kind of unique gameplay aspect that sets it apart from other bike races, of which there were a lot. It doesn't feel like it's just, hey, look what I can do for the sake of doing it. Outrun was never that, because it was just a fantastic racing game, wasn't it? It nailed every box, ticked every box, nailed every obstacle, something, I don't know. But yeah, so Enduro Racer, I guess, were sprite skaters, I don't know, were they finding their feet after Hang On and stuff like that? I mean, this must have come out before Outrun. So was it like a work in progress, moving along and stuff like that? Because Thunderblade intended to be part of something bigger and things like that? I don't know. But like I said, that feels like a tech demo. This just feels like a kind of a pick up and play, very, you know, linear game. I mean, I guess you could argue that's what a lot of sprite skaters were back then. Although, you know, Super Monaco GP was kinda lap based. I don't remember this being quite so difficult. Am I missing a trick? I don't think we... Do you have gears on dirt bikes? Were they just about low gearing, brute force acceleration or something? I don't ride bikes. I don't know. But how well has this aged? I've waffled a massive amount. I like to think it's my charm. Possibly most people just say shut up and get to the point. But do you know what? It's fun for a few plays, but at this point it's more so, and yes, granted I'm talking, which makes gameplay a little bit difficult. It's starting to frustrate me. Like maybe I'm not in the swing of things, got the rhythm playing as it should be played, but at no point in Outrun, as hard as it can get in some places, you know, kick my ass, I never profess to be the greatest Outrun player. You never feel like, you never rage quit. You always think, I can go back, I can have another go. I feel alright in this. I kind of, you know, like I've hit the wall. It's getting to a point where it's, yeah, okay, I've had enough now. Although you could argue a part of that would be when you're not constantly pumping money in, and money is no obstacle. I guess a lot of arcade games would end up like that. But then obviously sprite skaters were about blowing your face off with amazing visuals. See what I mean about you can't really see what's going on there because you hit the ramp when the undulation the road is going up and dipping and stuff like that. And again, I suck. So, is Enduro Racer? Has it stood the test of time as well as Outrun? You know, how well does it hold up? Is it worth playing now? Do you know what? I say, in the arcade, if you were rich back then, or your parents loved you, pop in a quid, you were probably done with it. Whereas Outrun was, more so because it wasn't as linear as this. There were a whole bunch of different routes and stuff like that. But there was just something about Outrun, that combination of the graphics, the tight controls, the amazing, amazing soundtrack. You just wanted to keep playing it. This, yeah, that's right. Couple of gameplays. I think I'm alright now. I can happily say I've scratched my 7-year Enduro Racer itch. And this music, I will say it now, yeah, the music's awful. It's bands. It's very dirt bikey. Again, I don't know. What do you think of all the sprite scalers? I mean, there's another one you'd like me to revisit I've not played in years to see how well I think it stood the test of time. When you compare it to the majestic glory of stuff like Outrunner, then let me know. But yeah, Enduro Racer, it's not a bad game. It's just, I don't know, it's like the Championship compared to Outrun, which is clearly in the Premiership. That was a pants analogy, I am aware of that. Anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think. Am I just being, you know, overcritical of an arcade game? Like I said, if you've got unlimited money now, you know, MAME and stuff like that, is it kind of removed some of its appeal? But yeah, Enduro Racer, it's alright. It's just no Outrun, is it? But anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think, and if there's any other sprite scalers, and not just SEGA, that were mind-blowing back in the day, maybe Chase HQ springs to mind, let me know, and I'll give them a whirl too. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.